Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to be working on these coasters. They are ceramic tiles actually that I'm turning into coasters with acrylic paint, and you will see what I do in a little bit. If you are new here, welcome. I would greatly appreciate it if you hit the like and subscribe button. And if you are a subscriber already, thank you so much for watching all my videos. I hope you all are having a fantastic day today. And let's get on into it. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take some painter's tape and I am going to tape off the back side because I do not want any paint to get on to the back side, and you'll see why in a little bit how that could happen. But for now I'm just going to tape the middle. I'm not worried about the middle so much because paint won't really get on the middle side, but I definitely want to do all of the outer portion to make sure that it does not get on there. If it does a little bit, it's okay, because we are going to put a corking sticker thing on the back, so it will help prevent that. So like I said, I'm not worried about this middle too much, but I definitely want the sides to not get it on there. It'll help with the adhesion of the cork when I put it on there as well. So just gonna tape the sides here like so. And then I take my X-Acto knife, or you could take a pair of scissors, which I happen to have handy here, so I'm going to use those, and just cut like so and get the excess off. And then once you do that, you can press, I'll show you in just a second here, you can press the tape on just a little bit more to make sure that it doesn't seep through. So now that we have it cut, just press down on the sides there to make sure that it does not, like I said, seep through. Okay, so this one is good. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest fastly. I'll just fast forward you and then we'll get started with the front side. All right, so after doing this, I just realized that this thing has a little bit of a sharp edge on it right here, and it actually cut me a little bit, if you can see right there, when I was putting pushing the tape down. So I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. All right, the next step we're going to do is we want to make sure that the paint will stick to this. So I have I believe this is 180 grit sand block, and I'm just going to rough up the surface a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just rough it up a little bit. This will help the paint to stick to it. So like I said, you know, you don't need to work at it too hard, just a little bit. And then the next step we're going to do after this is to make sure to clean the surface with some alcohol. I use 91% isopropyl alcohol for, simply it has to be 91 or higher, simply because anything lower is pretty much mostly water, and it will repel, especially if you're using resin on it, which we will be doing after the acrylic paint dries that we put on here. So just give it a quick sanding and a quick cleaning to get anything, any oils or any fingerprints, that sort of thing, to get off of there. And then we will begin the process. So I'm going to start off, what I'm going to do is a blowout method. I haven't tried that on these yet because they're kind of small. But what we're going to do is coat, I think I'm going to do these black and white. So I'm going to grab my black and my, actually, where, my black is here. And I'm actually going to use a pearl. I've got this Peachy Gold Pink Iridescent by US Art. So I'm going to do a couple things. So I'm going to take, actually I don't know if I have enough black mixed up. I think I'm going to skip the black, because I don't have a lot of it mixed up, enough for all of these. So, what color should we use? Alright, we're going to try this today. We're going to do Sunflower Iridescent, which is a yellow, also by US Art, and then Peachy Gold Iridescent Pink by US Art. So I'm going to start off by doing a split. And it's okay if I get some on the side, because I'm not worried about the side being covered. Actually, I kind of want the side to be covered. So what I'm going to do is get that on there, and I'm going to do it, like I said, a split color here. So half of it will be pink, the other half will be yellow, and then I'm going to do a line in between with different colors and do a blowout. You'll see as I'm going along here. And I'm gonna actually allow this to drip over so that the sides do get color on them. So I'm gonna do all the pinks first, and then I'll do the yellows after. So I mentioned in a previous video that I'm getting ready for an event in December at our local Elks Lodge here. They're doing their holiday boutique event, and I usually do pretty well there. So I found that coasters and vases were my big sellers the last time I did this event. So I'm hoping I'm going to do quite a bit more of those in hopes that I do well again this year. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, which I should have done this already, so I'm going to do it now, is to get these. I use my little 1 ounce cups. I get them on this and put them on the little, as a stand like this, so that when the paint does blow off, it blows off onto my silicone mat here. And that way I can either use what dries on the mat for something else, like jewelry pieces or whatnot. You can do, or you can, you can toss it, whatever, whatever. I try to utilize everything I can, if I can. But with this, I'm not sure what's going to blow off to the side, so we'll see as we go here what kind of happens. All right, so let's get these other two. Now I'm going to go ahead and move on to the yellow. These are interesting colors together I noticed as I'm assembling the colors here. Very like spring colors to me, which is not a bad thing. I do like some spring weather. Although right now we are headed into the fall weather, almost winter here. It's getting kind of chilly out these days. And if there's any paint or many spots that you missed on the side, you can always kind of go over that once it dries and just add a little bit of paint where it's missing any, you know, where it's missing any if you happen to miss. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is take some other colors and I'm going to do a line of each down the center. Alright, so I've decided I'm going to do this color, Aqua Green by Artist Loft. This is already pre-mixed pouring paint. So that one's already ready to go. And this, I don't remember what brand it is, but it's a bronzy color, which I already pre-mixed up and have in my squirt bottle ready to go. And then we're going to do some white. That I have to pre-mix because I don't have it already. This is just some Craft Smart acrylic paint. I wouldn't normally use it for higher end projects, like if I was doing canvases or anything like that, because you want good quality. This is not necessarily bad quality, but this is for, you know, just like crafting, and coasters I figure are, you know, they're fine. I'm going to mix some of this Sargent Art pouring medium. I actually got this at the dollar store. I couldn't believe they had it. So I'm going to mix a little bit of that in there. And then we should be good to go. I'm just going to add a little bit at a time and mix as needed and see until I get it to the consistency that I want to. So right there is a little bit thick still, so I'm going to add some more. I want it to be able to blow out when I use the hair dryer. Usually that's what I use, is a hair dryer when I do a blowout, but I don't know how that's going to work, being that this is such a small surface. I may end up blowing with a straw. I'm not sure yet. So here's the consistency you want. So now what we're going to do is just, let me just clean up my space here real quick and get what I need out of the way. So I'm going to start off with the white, and I'm going to go with the line that I have in the middle here. If you want, I want a thinner stream, so I'm going to pour from a little bit higher up. I'm going to do that to each one of these. If you want a thicker stream, pour from a lower point, but I find the thinner works better. Then I'm going to go with the, what did I say this is? Aqua Green. This, actually, you know what? I'm going to put this in a little container too, because even though it's already ready to mix, I don't want to end up pouring too much because the hole is quite a bit bigger on that one. Just going to go right over the first one that I did. And then I'm going to do a little bit of this bronzy. I think I got a clog in there. I'm just going to do the same thing and pour this in a cup too. There we go. And this one I think is a little bit thicker than I like, so I'm going to mix a little bit of the pouring medium in there and give that a quick mix. A little bit more even, I think. You want it to be a little bit runny, but not too runny, because if it's too thick, it won't blow out good enough. It'll just make a thick mess. So that's why I want to add, depending on what style of painting or whatever you're doing, you want different thicknesses. So this one I want to be a little bit thinner. So that's a little better. I think we're going to go ahead and go with that. Even as I'm pouring this now, I see it's a little bit thicker, but it's thin enough that it should work. Alright, so now I think the hair dry is going to be a bit much on this. It's just going to blow the whole thing. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get a straw. Got myself a straw here. So we're going to go ahead and get to blowing. I just noticed a spot here really quick. I'm going to make sure that's covered up. And I also just noticed somehow a hair got in here. Don't know where that came from, but we're going to get that out because we don't want that to dry in there, because then you will not be able to get it out. There we go. So you just want to blow where the line is. So I blew one direction. Now I want to come from the other side and blow out this way as well. So you just blow it to where you like the design, which I'm happy with that. I might blow just a little bit of the gold or the bronze back this way. Yeah, I think that's much better. So now we're going to do the same thing to this side. Yeah, that looks pretty too. I like that. So you can see there's some areas, like, I'm not sure if you can tell on camera here. Let me zoom you in just a little bit and see. So I'm not sure, even though I have you zoomed in, if you guys can tell really well, but right here, it's a little bit thick. And we don't want that because for two reasons. One, it's going to take a bazillion years for it to dry, and it's not going to dry evenly. So I don't know where this hair is coming from all of a sudden. The wind is blowing everywhere around. As I told you, I'm in an outside area, and it's really windy right now. But anyways, so we're going to blow this out just a little bit. And like I said, it's okay if the excess goes off, because you can use those scraps for other things. And this one looks okay as far as being any thick spots, so I think we're good. So we're gonna go ahead and blow the rest of these out here. And you see I have these kind of close together, so which is fine, but just be cognizant of when you're blowing what it's gonna do. You don't want it to go to the other side. Now just a little warning. Actually, let me get you guys, I just realized you couldn't see any of that, and I totally apologize because I forgot to zoom you guys back out. But I only finished half, so I'll do the other half with you guys. So be cognizant also when you're doing with a straw like this, it can kind of take the breath out of you. So take your time, and if you need to take a breath or catch your breath, you know, do so. But I'm gonna finish blowing out this way now. So the blue got eaten up a little bit here. There's a little bit left in here, but that's okay. It's still very pretty. But I think I've got it the way I like it now. There's no really, just a little bit of a thick spot right there, so I'm gonna blow that out. Then we're gonna go ahead and move to this guy. Alright, so this is looking pretty good. Just gonna blow this area out right here just a little bit. Alright, so I think we're looking pretty good here. I like the way these came out very nicely. So something else I want to mention as I was blowing out, like let's say you like the design that you have right here, but you notice that it's a little bit thicker here on the outside. And as I said, you don't want the paint to be super thick in any area for several reasons, but the main reason is it will not dry correctly. It will take forever to dry in that spot, and it won't look good. So what you want to do is just blow out that area and get any excess paint off that you don't want to get it to the desired thickness that you like. And then you can kind of blow out from there the rest of your area. So that's kind of what I did. I blew off in a couple different spaces to get everything evenly thickness wise. So now the next step, we're just going to let this dry. You don't want to put any heat next to it because then it will dry faster and it will crack. You'll get a crackled effect. Now, if you want that look, by all means, you can put a little space heater next to it and let it do its thing. But I do not like the crackled effect on this. So I'm going to leave it just as is. It should probably take a good rest of this day. Right now it is 12:50. It should take a good rest of the day, if not even until tomorrow morning, that it is dried for us to be able to put the resin coating on. You want to make sure that it's fully dried to put your resin on, otherwise you will just smear your paint everywhere, and we don't want that. So we're gonna let this dry, and then even before we put the we want to wait to take the backing of the tape off, even though this gets dried, because we don't want resin on the back either, because that's a pain in the butt to get off after it dries. Can you do it? Yes. Is it a pain in the butt? Also yes. So my advice is to keep the tape on until you've done this process, let it dry, and then do your resin and let that cure. You don't want that to cure like fully. You want it to be not tacky or sticky when you peel your tape off, and the reason for that is because even though you have your tape on there, the resin will drip off underneath and get too stuck on the tape. So even though you put the tape there, you will still get resin underneath. It'll just be easier to peel it off when it's not tacky or sticky, but also not fully cured. So I'll show you that process when the time comes. But for now, we're going to let this dry, and we will come back and do a resin coating. And also, I just wanted to say, I'm actually surprisingly pleased with how the bronze looks in these two. This one, you could see it quite a bit too, but these two, it's really pronounced. You can see a little bit of everything. This one, the blue or tealish aqua green got eaten up a little bit, and also the gold. But that's okay. They don't all have to be, you know, exactly the same. So we're gonna let this dry up, and we'll come back for the next step. Hey guys, I'm just hopping back on to show you the dried results of these coasters. I think they are absolutely gorgeous. On camera, they look really peachy up in the corner here. And then when you dim the lighting, or maybe in the lighting a little bit better, actually, you can see it's a little more gold. That was the Peachy Gold Iridescent by US Art that I used. And let's show you the other guys here real quick. At first, I wasn't sure if these colors were going to go well together, but after I blew it out with the straw, I realized that they do go well together. Like I said, I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Let me show you the back side here real quick. Remember, we taped it so that the paint wouldn't get into this area here. And so once I put a coat of resin on these, I will wait for that to cure just enough so that it's not tacky or sticky, and then I will peel the tape off the back. Hey guys, so I'm not sure what happened, but I lost the audio on this video and it recorded in super slow motion. I'm not sure how that happened. But either way, I am taking my X-Acto knife just to lift the center of the tape up to get it off easier. And as you can see, it's peeling off pretty easy. I did get a few drips of resin on the bottom, not too many. And because I let this only set up overnight, it is cured but still soft, so the drips will peel off really easy. If I had let this set up for more than a day or two, um, it would be a little bit harder to peel off. It's also really cold where I'm at nighttime, which is kind of when I did this. So when it's colder out, it takes longer for things to fully cure. So that kind of helped a little bit, the fact that it's cold and that it didn't cure and totally harden. It is not tacky or sticky. It is just enough to where it's easy to peel off. You can see here that it's just coming right off. Now, I did get a little bit of paint underneath on the backside. You can see on some of these just a little bit. And although I tried to avoid that as much as I could, like I said, it did get a little bit under there. And you'll see in just a little bit that I'm going to put some corking on there. And the corking does not fit exactly. There's like maybe an eighth to a quarter of an inch on the sides all around. And you can still see the little driplets of paint. You can either leave that, or because this ceramic tile is white, I can just use some white acrylic paint to paint over that, or you can leave it as is. It's up to you. In this video, I left it as is, but since I'm going to be selling them, I will probably just paint over it so that it looks more finished and polished. If I was keeping this for myself, I would just leave it as is. But you're going to see here in just a minute me throwing on the cork backing. And I'm going to go ahead and throw some music on for the rest of this. I hope you guys enjoyed today's videos. Again, I apologize about the audio. If you have any questions on this part, since you couldn't really hear me explain what I actually did in the video, let me know and I will answer them to the best of my ability down below in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and here is some music for the rest.